addressing the skill gap between designers and front-end developers. Now, primarily, we all know the role of a UI UX designer, and we know that people who are designing are coming up with the architecture of whatever application that they are trying to build. And front-end developers, on the other hand, in simple terms, they're just bringing the same design into life through code. This has been an issue that has really been on my mind about how we rate works of designers versus how we rate works of developers. I came up with this analogy that you always have to get an architectural design of whatever building you are trying to come up with before you actually start constructing. And that's the same thing that happens even in the tech field. Designers and front-end developers are just like architects and civil engineers or building engineers. They go hand in hand and they pretty much deliver the same thing but in different scopes. At the end of the day, they are just trying to reach the same goal. Now, in this case, I have seen a couple of tweets where people tend to think that designers are becoming a lot more outrageous in their designs, and it kind of makes it difficult for front-end developers to match up to their skills. I almost agreed with that, but that's not the case all the time. Imagine yourself in an office where you have a UI UX designer with loads of years of experience, and you have a front-end developer who is just coming in, probably in his mid-level step in his career, and you don't expect that this developer can actually match up to the skill of the designer just as much as you expect the designer to come up with his best craft. I'm not trying to say that developers are not good, and I'm not trying to say that UI UX designers shouldn't come up with their best work. But if you're rating them on the same scope, there should be some baseline to it. If we are to take it the other way around and we say that we are putting people of the same level of expertise, the same level of years in the game on a project where we are expecting that the designer comes up with his best project and the front-end developer is to come up with best codes to match up with the design that has been brought up by the designer, then definitely there's going to always be a friction here, because it's not the same even though it's the same. No, it's the same because we are all dealing with things about the UI, we are all dealing with an interface, we are all dealing with user experience. But we can't also say that UI UX design is front-end development, because it's not. And you don't expect that if someone is hammering a lot on code and another person is hammering a lot on design, it's going to take the same effort, or it's even going to take the same baseline. It's not, because these are two very distinct spheres of tech, but very similar. At the end of the day, I'm not even trying to say that front-end developers have the upper hand when it comes to the tech field or even the tech career. I'm not even trying to say that front-end developers should just be let off the hook just because they can't deliver on their promises. I'm only trying to say that at the end of the day, even though these two guys are doing pretty much the same thing, it's pretty much not the same thing. Like, a lot of people have actually faced this challenge. Pretty much found myself in a similar situation where I felt like the design was really outrageous, but then it also didn't mean that I shouldn't level up my skill to match the design, because at the end of the day, if you're trying to deliver the project, you want it to be as clean and efficient as possible. So here's my take on it. Even though designers can be really, really outrageous in their design, it doesn't mean that we can't step up our game. Just until December, I started putting in a lot of effort to actually polish up my design skills. And I kind of understand, because having the best of design in your work as a UI UX designer is actually a flex, and it actually brings out a lot of potential in what you can actually do, regardless of the competition you are trying to pose to your front-end developers. So here's my take on the topic, and I'll see you in my next video. Remember to subscribe to the channel and follow me wherever you see me on the internet, Instagram, Twitter, wherever, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.